Ooh, time to get excited. I don't know if y'all saw the news, but I'm here to talk to you about that right now. The College Football Committee has voted on a 12-team playoff that could start in 2026 and maybe a little bit earlier. Let's talk about that in the details coming up here in about 10 seconds. What's good, everybody? It's your boy Jay here with Unfair Sports, talking OU football, college football, and sports in general. In this special episode, we're going to talk about the College Football Playoff Committee meeting and where they just voted on a 12-team playoff. Let's go to the details and dive right into it. But before we do that, jump into the comments. Let me know what you think about a 12-team college football playoff. Do you like it? Do you hate it? I know there's a lot of people on both sides of the pendulum. I want to know where you stand. Do you want 12 teams or do you not? So about 15 months ago, a 4-person working group for the College Football Playoff Committee had met to discuss doing an expansion to potentially 12 or 16 or maybe even 8 teams for the playoffs. And 15 months later, it looks like they voted on it this Friday and decided that, yeah, we're going to go forward with that. The beauty of it is that they're planning for it to come out 2026, which is when the new television contract comes out. But there's a chance that could come a little bit earlier. If it comes earlier, it could show up 2024. So exactly 2 years from now. Oh. But let's talk about some of these deets. All right, they met this morning and had a conversation about it. And I'm going to give you guys what the main thing is, as well as my feelings behind what I want to see happen. So in the main report, is the College Football Playoffs Board of Managers have decided that they will do a 12-team playoff moving forward. And this was all reported by ESPN's Peter Thamel, and then it's been confirmed by The Athletic, Nicole Auerbach, SI Now, Ross Dellinger. Everybody's really talking about it as we speak. And so in these details, the only reason why they're looking, like I said, 26 is because of the TV contract. But there are provisions to try to push it up to 2024 when they negotiate with the ESPN on those rights. Now, this is the cool thing about all of this and why I think that there's a great chance that 2024 happens. The Big 12 is currently in negotiations for their TV contract with ESPN and all of them today. And so since they are in negotiations to bring their contract to start in 2024, there's a great chance that our Sooners, as well as the, Texas Longhorns, will move to the SEC earlier. Instead of waiting until the contract's up, they'll be able to move in 2024. If that's the case, there's a great chance that ESPN enters in an agreement with the College Football Playoffs Board of Managers and go ahead and have the playoffs start in 2024 because of the negotiated Big 12 contract, and then play it out in some special way up until 2026 and have a full-blown festivities on it. So that is what we're seeing right now. I'm stoked. I told y'all I'm big on bigger playoffs because it's going to give us a lot more, A, good quality football, and B, opportunities for those that can't just, make the playoffs as a at-large. But this is what I'm seeing so far. So that 4-person committee 15 months ago that met to discuss this playoff format, this is what they were thinking about. They said they wanted the 6 highest ranked champions, conference champions, to automatically qualify and then have 6 at-larges to complete the field. So that's 12 teams, which is perfect. That means that for the most part, your Power Fives are going to be in there, as well as one of your group of 5 will also join. Now, with all the shakeup with conference realignments and stuff, that's going to look a little bit different. It'll probably be the Power 4 that gets it, and then then the other 2 comes from the group of 5, and then you'll have 6 at larges. That means that the groups get a chance to get in here, and I love it. Cincinnati gave us a fun game, against Alabama for the most part, but the problem was that they just couldn't stop the run because they weren't big enough, but they did slow down the pass. That's what I want. I want more of that stuff. I want more fun like that. And then adding the components of like transfer portals and NIL, there's a good chance that some of these group of 5 teams will start to bulk up a lot better than you expect and actually compete. And so let's take a gander at this, though. Brett McMurphy from the Action Network put this out of what a 12-team playoff would have looked like last year. And so first round would have been Pitt versus Georgia, Utah versus Notre Dame, Michigan State versus Ohio State, Oklahoma State versus Ole Miss, and with the quarters being the quarterfinals being set up with the top 4 teams having a bye week, and they play in that next week. Now, this is my thoughts behind how this should run. Exactly like this format, but on college campuses. There's a few people talking about it on Twitter right now, and that is something I advocate for hardcore. You want the playoffs to be engaging. You want people to be excited about them. Put those bad boys at the crib. Put those bad boys on college campuses. Put this bad boy at Oregon. Put it at Oklahoma in Norman. Put it in Tallahassee for Florida State. Put it in Tuscaloosa. I promise you, everybody's going to turn up, and it's going to be a blast. Let home field advantage matters. If you have a group of 5 team that they make the playoff, and instead of them having to travel somewhere, either put it at their local stadium like UTSA, or put it at the closest large stadium to them. Negotiate something with the NFL stadiums if it's available. That's perfect. The reason why that's perfect, because it still gives them a home field advantage with a larger stadium. You can't beat that. So keep it on the campuses, and then whenever you decide to do the Final Four, then do that at neutral sites. Do that at like the Rose Bowl, the Cotton Bowl, whatever, and then the national championship at whatever neutral sites you want it to be. But that's how you should run this bad boy. So looking at the way these teams are set up, we would have had games in Georgia, at Notre Dame, at the Shoe, in Ohio State, at Ole Miss down in Oxford. That would have been dope. That would have been so dope. And so with that, that's College Football Playoff Committee talking about adding a 12-team playoff. We're going to get it hopefully in 2024, but potentially we got to wait to 2026, but we'll see. More news will come out, more details will come out over the next coming weeks, especially as the season goes on. And of course, here at Unfair Sports, we're going to be right there in the middle. So jump in the comments. Let me know what you think about that. And while you're here, please hit the like button. Let us know that you like what we're doing, as well as hit the subscribe button. That way you get more of this great content. Kidding. But at the same time, if you enjoy it, then it's considered great. But with that, we'll talk more. I have some OU content coming right before the game tomorrow. So it'll be later on tonight. We'll talk about it tomorrow. We've got the OU game as UTEP. I'm going to try to record after the game, or it may come out sometime Sunday. I'm actually out of town for a soccer tournament for my son, so I'm going to be on the road. But I will be putting something out from the hotel room so you all can, we can just, chop it up about what happened. So with that, we'll chop it up in a few days.